right. So if you look at this particular this thing, you are seeing some codes here. These are the two projects I may likely finish today. I'm looking at the project that has to do with color flipper. I'm also looking at the JavaScript project that has to do with what? With the counter. Like I said earlier, my classes on JavaScript are going to be project-based classes. So students find it difficult to apply this syntax to get something meaningful for themselves. So that's why I decided to be making a project. But before I do that, I'll first of all take you guys a class right now. I'm taking you guys on a class of functions. In that function class, I will explain everything about functions and what you should be expecting with functions. Then I also made mention of operators last class. So I will try and do that. I just hope I will be able to accomplish everything I want to finish today. All right. So what we are going to do right now, let's remove our mind from this. Let's create a new file. Let's call that file let's call it index.html. So I will be doing some writing my code with inline or sorry internal JavaScript with this syntax, so that I will not be able to, I shouldn't be duplicating stuff like that. So JS function. So a quick recap of what we did last class. Last class we actually look at the DOM method in JavaScript, which we actually call the jQuery aspect of JavaScript. So where anytime you are seeing DOM manipulation, like all those get elements, inner HTML, inner text content, all of these things are just DOM manipulation, because and it is JavaScript is the manipulation of this code on your browser. Okay, so let's look at a function. Basically we have two kind of a function in JavaScript. Is it actually two kind of a function? Yeah, two kind of a function. We have the user defined function and the built-in function. Okay, the built-in functions are called method, while the user defined function you follow the function what method. So in that user defined method they have four methods of declaring that user defined function. The first one we have is your conventional function declaration. We have the arrow function declaration. We have the callback conventional function declaration. We have the arrow callback conventional function declaration. Let's start with the conventional function first. The conventional function in JavaScript, so I'm going to be using script to write my code. So if I'm having a function keyword, then I join it with a function. Let's say the function name is say hello. That's the function name. So the syntax for a function is you have your round bracket open and close, then you have your curly brace open and what and close. So what I want to actually do, I want to display say hello inside my HTML, and we established in that our last class that you can't display it, you only display it inside element. Let's say I want to display it inside h3 what elements. I can give this guy a class. I can give it a class, say something like um, okay, let's say something like hi or speak, so that it's not like, let's say speak. So I'm going to write my program now. The first thing you should expect me to do, I should be, I should first of all declare my variable. I can say const speak, okay, equals to, now since I have a class there, can I refresh your memory? What am I going to call? What kind of DOM method should I call since I have a class on my history? Please mute your mic and speak out.
Selector.
The selector. What do you mean by the selector? Who is talking? What do you mean by the selector?
I said query selector, query selector.
Query words selector. So we are using, since it's a class, we are using query selector. That will be document dot what, query words selector. So our class name is dot, the class name is what, speak. So what I want to do actually is I want to pass this here. Then the next thing I'm going to do for me to trigger this inside my browser, what I want to display, I can say uh, speak, let's say speak dot uh, test what content equals to uh, good evening, good evening James. So there's a typographical error there, I'm going to correct it now. Good evening James. So good evening James is inside speak equals to what, good evening James. A variable has been declared. Now for this function to work, I have to trigger it. I have to trigger it inside my program. So if you want to trigger it, it means that I can bring in a button here. I can bring in a button here and say, let's say the button is going to be something like click me. So let's say click me. So click, this is what we call the event what trigger an event, and a button responds to an on-click an on-click event. So this function that I have here, I'm going to call it inside here. Let's say what, say hello. I'll call it inside here. So by the time I click on this, good evening word James will be triggered out. All right. So if I refresh it, by the time I click on it, good evening James. So what I'm saying in essence is that in a function, when you are calling a function, you call the function name that you have called here, bracket open and close should be in front of it. Please, any question? Any question? No. So in the absence of no question, let me continue. Let's say I have more syntax here. Let's say I have,
Uh, so,
okay,
I have a question.
yes,
Regarding to what you talk about const and speak equal to document dot jQuery selector. Like from that place, I didn't understand it there.
jQuery selector.
Yeah, the one that started with const and then speak equal to document dot
All right.
jQuery selector.
Const is a
Yeah.
variable declaration. You know, I said in the beginning of the class, I said for the advanced JavaScript, we use let and what, const, right? And
Okay.
const is variable declaration for a variable that does not change in the course of the program. It's actually mean constant. So speak is constant. You can't redeclare speak again in the course of this program. Are you getting that? So
Okay.
is equals to document dot query selector. All right. The query selector is because of the HTML, the H3. We gave it a class there. That's in line 10. We gave it a class of what, or speak. We want to be able to
Okay.
have access to that particular speak. And I said anytime you are having a class in your HTML, what you should call is what, a query word selector. Are you getting it
Okay.
now? So the class is
Yeah,
now
yeah,
what we now pass inside these brackets. Remember, in CSS, anytime you are calling a class, what do you pass? A dot, abi,
yeah, yeah,
before the class
yeah,
name. So in JavaScript, it's still the same syntax. Anytime you are calling a class, put your string, your quotes, a dot before the class name. So what we are saying is that this entire code, this document.querySelector, is now attached to this variable what? Speak.
speak.
Do
Okay.
you get it? So it must not be speak, oh, it can be SPK. All right. Just know that this is actually a variable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is actually what? A
The class,
variable. So if I'm
the
calling this
variable, yeah.
variable here, I would go call sp what? K. So nothing will happen to my
SPK.
program. If I still run it,
Yeah.
it will still work fine.
Pop up.
It will still pop up. So why is it popping up?
Okay.
It's popping up inside what? H3. That's why you're saying it there.
Okay. Thank you.
So now let's see another advantage of function. Let's say I pass in a variable here. Let's s equals to 30. Then uh, let's name equals to a string. Let's say promise equals to promise. Then I now have here. I say